and see that these are kind of border states that are right in the middle. Okay? With me so far?
Wait, did we talk about what we should vote for in the Constitution?
No, but I'm going to get there, okay? So, all of these states secede. Now we've got 11 states. We're a real country. We can form together. And they make a new flag.
I have one more question.
Okay, I have one more answer.
Did Virginia and Arkansas and Tennessee, were they slave states?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so they get together. They make a new flag to include all 11 states. You guys have seen this.
Oh, yeah.
That's what
rednecks
use.
Yeah.
That's what rednecks use.
Why do rednecks use that?
Because they're trying to say that
The South should have won.
the South should have won.
The
Ladies,
South would have won.
ladies, that the South should have won, and that the Confederacy
Still awesome.
still lives.
So they
We were
believe in
right.
slavery?
Southern power, right? Okay.
So they believe in slavery?
I think it's more of a states' rights issue, and that it started as a states' rights thing, right? South Carolina just wanted to be able to have the power of nullification and to make its own laws and do what it needed to do.
How many stars are there?
It should be 11. 1, 2, 3. For 11 states. Make sense?
Wait, was that the war in Grand Coteau against...
Yeah. There's going to be one of the battles, the battle that happened here, is going to be in the Civil War. Okay.
How many should there be?
11. For 11 states. So, they get together, they have this convention, they have elected Jefferson Davis as president, and they write a new constitution. Okay? What number is this?
Number 5.
Number 5 for the Constitution? Confederate States of America? Okay. Did I make the Constitution its own number? No.
Yeah, it's Confederate Constitution number 5. Number 5.
Oh, okay. So, for number 5, you want to know that they formed the Confederate States of America. These 11 states, they elected Jefferson Davis as president, and they wrote a new constitution. And it was very similar to the constitution already in place in the Union. But it really emphasized that states have power. Right? Nullification. Slaves are property. You can't take it away. Make sense? Jefferson
How long
Davis.
did this last?
Well, we'll get there.
Wait, who's
Wait,
the elect president?
Jefferson Davis.
What is
Wait,
that
is he
flag called?
president on the
bottom?
like, is he recorded as a
It's the Confederate flag.
Ah.
Okay. That was the first
Because Abraham Lincoln didn't recognize it, okay? Remember how we talked about countries cannot be countries unless other countries recognize them? Remember that with Texas and California even, that whole thing? So the Confederacy secedes. Okay, great, we're our own country. We have our own president and constitution and we're our own country. And Lincoln says, no, this is not going to fly. Okay?
Miss Mount, did the people know, like in South Carolina and Florida and all that, did they know that the South was breaking away from the U.S.?
Yeah, they would have all voted on it. It would have been a big bill that passed, kind of like that petition lately with Let's Secede Again.
Why did they have that even?
Why did they have that then?
No, now.
Now? Because they wanted to have the right to say, we don't want this president. We want to be our own country.
It's not going to happen though,
But
right?
it was
No, it's not. Because of this. This is why it didn't happen. Okay?
Wasn't it a fair run though? Like election?
It was a fair election, sure, yeah. They just didn't like the outcome, I guess. Okay, so Abraham Lincoln gets inaugurated March 1861. Oh wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. In the meantime, here we have the South, the Confederacy, right? They're very proud, they are joyous, they think they've already won. The problems are over, we've solved this problem, we'll show that Union, we've got our own power now, right? We're awesome, we're good. Good to go. No problem necessary. The only catch is that there are still several forts left in the South that have Union troops in them. Make sense? For instance, Fort Sumter.
For what?
Sumter.
It's on your
It's on your term list. What number is it? 6?
Why have I heard of that before?
Girl, because of what I'm about to tell you. Okay? So there's lots of forts left in the South that have Union troops in them. And the South is like, all right, listen, James Buchanan. James Buchanan is still the acting president, right? Listen, James Buchanan, you should just give us those forts because it's in our territory now. We're a different country. Get your troops out of here. Let us be.
Wait, what is their country
So, what is the Fort Sumter again?
Fort Sumter is a fort in South Carolina.
Okay.
That had Union troops in it still. Okay? And the South wants the Union to just give those forts to the South. Right? Because it's in Confederate land now.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
So Abraham Lincoln's like, listen, dude, I know I'm not president yet, but try to take my advice. How about we just send in some food for the troops, and then everything will be peaceful and everything will be okay. James Buchanan's like, yeah, I guess, whatever. That sounds fine to me, you know. So they send in some food.
To who?
To the troops that were still in, that's a hamburger, that were still in Fort Sumter, the Union troops that were still in the fort.
Wait, can you explain Fort Sumter?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a fort. Like, there are all kind of bases, military bases that are forts, okay, all along the country. And when the Confederate States of America said, here's our line, we're a separate country than you, there were still forts with troops from the Union in them. Does that make sense? And so Fort Sumter is just an example of many forts that the South wanted the Union to just give back.
Okay, so for Fort Sumter, we can say an example of the many troops that the Confederate States of America wanted the United States to give to them?
Yes, and so Abe's like, listen, how about we just send some food in, and then everything will be fine. So they send in some guys, white flags, look, I'm not armed, I'm just bringing you food, right? And this newly formed country, happy with their solution to this great problem, and happy to be in a part of a new militia, gets overexcited and surrounds the fort and sieges it. Remember we talked about sieges? Lays siege to it for a couple days. Totally blows up the whole building. I mean, destroyed. But there were no casualties, no deaths. Right? One cow died, but, you know, that happens.
Really?
Really?
Why couldn't people die?
I haven't heard the irony. I know. Oh, I know. So, the one cow. So, the point is, the South was all gun happy, like, you're in our land, get out of here. And this is the first battle of what will be the Civil War, even though there were no casualties.
Wait, they were fighting?
Well, they were like, yeah, that's the first. It depends on how you look at it because people died at that one, right? This was a bombardment and a siege and lots of stuff got blown up. But since no one died, yeah, good thought. We'll talk about that later. Yeah.
You said they picked Jefferson Davis because of his,
political prowess, and he was cold and ruthless.
Okay.
And they thought that he would be able to say, look, Abraham Lincoln, here's what we want. Get it done. Negotiate.
And this is
Okay. Nope. Still not there yet. Sorry. That's Fort Sumter. Are we cool with that?
Wait, so Fort Sumter, a fort that the Confederate States of America wanted to take from the Union?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't.
What did
Emma.
What did Abraham Lincoln do about?
So then, Abraham Lincoln still wasn't president, right? He didn't get sworn in until March. So, in March, he's giving his inauguration speech, and he has to be surrounded by militia.
Snipers.
Why? Just in case.
Because he had already gotten assassination threats. He's not even president yet, and he's already getting mean letters. Assassination. You guys know what an assassination is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt bad for the way he died.
We'll get there, Christiana. Don't give it away. Okay, so Abraham Lincoln has to give his inauguration address surrounded by militia and already kind of afraid with assassination threats. Okay, and so Lincoln's promise, this is number 2, right?
Oh, yeah.
He starts out by saying, listen, we're not enemies, but friends. We need to be friends. And number 1 thing, I promise to maintain this union. What does that mean?
to maintain, to keep it together.
Keep it together, exactly. He doesn't believe that this whole Confederate secession thing is going to fly. He thinks it's unconstitutional. So he wants to maintain the Union in order to set a good example of democracy, right? Democracy can work. If I just let one state leave whenever they feel like it, it's going to set a precedent that now any state can do that whenever they want to, right? And so the reason that Louisiana didn't just secede last year when it wanted to is because Abraham Lincoln set that precedent that said, no, that's unconstitutional. the Union is one big thing. You don't have the power or the right to do that as one sovereign state. Make sense?
Yes.
What if we just would?
What if we just would have
Yeah.
seceded?
Yeah.
Well, it's not like we're going anywhere, right?
Yeah. Because it's bomb.
So it would have been on paper only, and Louisiana as a state would have owed the federal government so much money that it would have quickly realized the infeasibility of it, right? You can't run a government in debt. Well, we are, but you know what I'm saying. Okay. America, sorry. Back to the Civil War, though.
Will there be another Great Depression?
We'll see. We'll see about that. Okay, so Abraham Lincoln promises to maintain the Union. Okay? Now, predictions for the future. What number is that? 9? 8. He says, okay, no problem. In 90 days, I'm going to have this taken care of. Within 90 days, I'll have the South back in the Union. We'll all be maintained. Everybody will be happy again. No more sectionalism. It'll be done.
So he'll have the South back in the Union in
90 days.
That was
in
his
90
promise.
days.
Yep.
So predictions for the outcome.
Predictions for the outcome was that Abraham Lincoln thought he could have it finished in 90 days.
So Lincoln's promise was that he would have it.
He would maintain the Union.
In the Union, and he'll spread sectionalism.
He will stop sectionalism.
Okay.
Right?
Predictions for the outcome. Abe thought he could have it finished by 90 days.
Uh-huh, yeah. Okay? And that the South thought that it was going to be over really quickly, too. They didn't see that it was even a problem. All the South thought was, it's cool, we're just exercising our sovereign power. We have no beef with you, Union. Right? So then, the Union plan, okay?
Wait, I'm sorry. Lincoln's promise is when he maintained the Union, he said he'd maintain the Union in 90 days, but I didn't get the second part, that he'd stop sectionalism from spreading.
Correct. Okay. So, the plan, let me see if I can draw a snake. Yeah, girl.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, you can. You did it last time.
I did
You
it.
got this was now.
Thanks, girl. Let me see if I can do it.
Oh, it's so cute!
It's not supposed to be cute, it's a snake.
It's not snaky. I mean, it's not.
I think
It's not
that's
snaky.
I still like
It's
snakes.
snaky. It's not cute.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so, anaconda thing, okay? Ladies, let's talk about this. What number is this, 9?
It's so funny.
Okay, so, what do anacondas do?
They
They
eat
squeeze.
mouses.
Yeah, they eat mouses, yes, but they squeeze you to death, okay? That's the whole point. So you'll notice when you look at your map that the Confederacy is now one consolidated little chunk in the southeast of America, right? So the plan is, no problem, we'll just cut them off. We'll come around to the ports, all the water over here in the Gulf. We'll come over through Oklahoma and around on the side of Texas and just cut them off. Make sure they don't have access to goods or supplies or arms or food or troops or anything. And squeeze the life out of the Confederacy till they give in, right, Madison?
Wait, why did they want them back?
Why did they want them back? The big thing was that Abraham Lincoln thought he didn't want to set that precedent. That states could just secede whenever they wanted to, and he wanted to show the rest of the world that democracy can work. The Union can stay together. It can work. And
The anaconda plan is cutting off, like weapons,
cutting off supply lines, really, to anything.
supply lines.
To the south. So they're going, like, into the Gulf and to the ports, and they're going around by the land.
Why'd they want to do that?
Because they thought that if the South doesn't have access to goods or weapons, they can't really fight. And it would be an easy way to just end things. Does that make sense? Okay, so then what might the South's plan be? 7-1, don't give it away.
South plan?
Yeah,
They
if the
could
North's plan is
go
to
away
cut them
on
off,
Confederate and go to the north.
go away on boats, okay.
To go to war!
To go to war. Yeah, the South's plan is literally survive until they leave us alone.
That's a good
That's a good plan.
It's like one thing in law school.
Okay, so the South's plan is just survive until they leave us alone.
What's the Confederate plan?
The Confederate Confederate plan is the South plan. Survive until they leave. Okay.
Survive.
We're done. Any questions?
So what's the Confederate plan?
Wait, so what happened?
Survive until they leave. Girl, that's next time.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Monday.
Yeah.
For what?
Good to go?